we discuss the Samaritan basing on the question, those who are involved in wrongdoing cannot escape the consequences of their actions. We're going to discuss a few leaders, and we're going to discuss the wrongdoing and the consequences. We're also going to give specific textual illustrations that will help a student master the text and be in a position to respond to such a question with confidence and accuracy. We begin with Samar. These are Samar's wrongdoings. Samar is accused of supplying air to the municipal council together with Ted, billing the council huge sums without offering any service on page 24. He is also accused of suggesting misuse of public funds through budget reallocation to fight corruption cases instead of solving waste disposal problems. That is on page 32 to 33. He accepts bribes for approval of building plans. His rotten inspectorate unit approves unsafe structures even in a seismically active area and causes protracted delays on page 66. He leads the violent Black Swan gang responsible for shootings, violence, and mysterious disappearances of critics, page 66. He engages in drug trafficking, destroying many young lives. Many become dropouts, some have mental damage, and even others die. That is on page 67. He possesses a fake law certificate used to intimidate citizens on page 66. He accumulates wealth illegally through corruption and abuse of office. He was elected poor but now lives luxuriously, page 35. He bribes people using drug money to buy his way into office, page 67. The consequences are his family collapses due to drug abuse. His eldest son is in rehabilitation, another addicted to gambling in the casino, and the wife is a perpetual alcoholic, page 66 to 67 and page 70. He's exposed on the Samaritan app, leading to an angry reaction, clenched fists, trembling voice, and declaration of war on page 24 to 25. He is arrested by Tajo, the Anti-Corruption Bureau head. He shuffles in confusion. He is handcuffed by the uniformed officers and escorted to the headquarters on page 138. We discuss another character in the Samaritan who suffers consequences of wrongdoing, and that is Ted King. His wrongdoings include participating in the fraudulent supplying air scheme with Samar, receiving public money for no service rendered on page 24. He also manipulates the tendering process to benefit companies linked to relatives and friends for the health center construction on page 64. He misappropriates funds meant for construction of health centers, resulting in substandard facilities resembling cowsheds on page 64. He's also accused of theft of hospital resources, leading to lack of drugs in hospitals. That is on page 9 and page 91. And that is implied because he is in charge of health and environment. He supports illegal budget reallocation to fund legal battles against corruption charges, disguised as fixing waste disposal, page 33. He was previously engaged in music piracy and public nuisance through noise pollution, page 64 to 65. He is illiterate. He spews gibberish and reeks of illicit brew on page 65. Generally, he is inefficient and is also accused of embezzlement in the Department of Health and Environment. The consequences: he's exposed publicly through the Samaritan app on page 24. He is sickly due to excessive drinking, page 65. He faces corruption investigations alongside other municipal leaders. He is arrested during the anti-corruption crackdown led by Tajo and grouped with the other leaders on page 138. Next, Ramdai, the deputy mayor. These are his wrongdoings. He awards municipal infrastructure tenders, that is roads, bridges, drains, etc., to his own companies and relatives, leading to embezzlement and shoddy work. Roads look like abandoned battlefields on page 62 to 63. He prints fake title deeds and sells the same plots to multiple buyers, up to 10 people, page 42 and 63. He fraudulently sells Maracas university land to Bembe, page 42. He accepts bribes, that is money, and shares in Prime Orchard Limited to conceal the Rodengate affair, page 62 to 63 and page 108. His family monopolizes projects under his Department of Physical Infrastructure, page 62. He's accused of general corruption, swindling, and destroying lives through greed, page 42. And these are the consequences of his wrongdoing. Corruption is exposed through investigations linked to the Samaritan revelations. He is then later arrested by Tajo. He's among the leaders that shuffle in confusion. He is handcuffed by the police officers and bundled out. Page 138. Basdale, the opposition leader. Basdale is accused of accepting bribes and shares from Ivy and Jaden not to expose the Rodengate affair. So after being investigated alongside other corrupt officials, after the public exposure following revelations from the Samaritan app, he is arrested during the anti-corruption operation led by Tajo, page 138. Harvester, wrongdoings. Harvester is accused of using public funds on Mayor Moses' instruction to buy newspapers carrying negative stories about municipal leaders in order to suppress information, page 21 and 41. He organizes propaganda press conferences aimed at clearing corrupt leaders' names instead of serving public interest, page 41. Thus, he facilitates concealment of corruption and abuse of office. Harvester claims he is not involved in wrongdoing and only follows the mayor's orders as a dutiful Christian, page 115. These are the consequences. He is implicated in corruption investigations after exposure by the Samaritan app. Despite the family praying and fasting, page 115, and claims of innocence, page 115 and 138, he is still held accountable. He faces arrest. He is handcuffed and bundled out unceremoniously during the anti-corruption crackdown led by Tajo, page 138. This proves that no one can escape the consequences of wrongdoing.